watching Nead Inspiration.
All right, what's tip number 2, Heather?
Tip number 2 is take inventory in your kitchen.
Oh, you know, I do that all the time. I think I have 4 bottles of Caesar salad dressing because I'm not sure whether I have it and I've got to buy it.
Right, and when I don't take my inventory, I'm making 2 calls, 3 calls to my husband. Hey, check the refrigerator for me. Do we have blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So save yourself the time and take your inventory. And again, this is going to have your shopping list. So you can do this at home. Yes, I've got this. No, I need that.
Super easy.
So when you don't need the salad dressing, you don't need
and this is why this is going to end up being $40 to $50 because you're not going to use this whole entire thing. This is what you need.
You're not going to have to buy everything on here. You're going to have a lot of these things already.
All right. Very nice. Taking inventory, always smart to plan.
Yes.
Now Heather has, she's a dietitian, so she gets super excited about certain things. I've never seen anyone's eyes light up as much as they did. You are excited about a particular product.
I am.
So tell me about it.
Well, one of my favorite, and this is my biggest secret, my freezer secret, is Bird's Eye Voila.
Voila.
And my eyes light up because it's so fun to say. Voila. So they have various types of ones that have rice or pasta, but the cool thing is they have the meat, the carbohydrate, and the vegetables already in it for it. You add water, cook for 15 minutes, and it's going to be done.
And that's part of our shopping
That
list.
is part of our shopping.
So
this is the backup. Remember you said the backup before?
Sure.
This is a huge backup. And then all you got to do is open up a can of green beans and rinse off the grates.
Right.
And your supper's done.
And so much better than running through a drive-thru.
Absolutely.
And I like that this isn't all stuff that I'm going to just spend all my time in the kitchen chopping things up.
I think that's a huge myth. One that eating healthy is expensive, but also that it has to be time consuming. So we've just shown that it's not.
All right. So one last point, going back, online is your friend.
Yes, online is your friend because these are on sale. It was in the online ad. Now the other thing that is online for us is at Hy-Vee.com. There are 30 meals for $3 per person.
So you don't have to make the same things over and over again.
Exactly. And so it's going to tell you, again, the entree and 2 side dishes. So you can print off what sounds good to you. You can look for what's in the sale. You can look for and see what's going to fit into your schedule.
So I have, all of this is about,
I would say like $90.
Right, and this is to make 7 meals.
Right, this is 7 meals.
So if I picked 4 of the meals, I think you passed your assignment.
Yes,
really good job. About $45 to $50 I can feed my family, which is large, and they'll have something different every night.
And you're going to have your kitchen stocked for a few more backups if need be.
Right. Well, very good. Heather, thank you so much. I'm ready to shop.
Thank you.
A little planning will go a long way.
A little planning goes a long way.
Yes. We'll be back right after this. Up next, you are going to enjoy a little bit of encouragement from New Heights Counseling. We'll be back right after this.
In the spirit of fabulous living for less, perhaps question, what do I spend my money on? And do I spend the money on the things that I say I value most?
We might find out that if our money spending is true to our values, we may actually spend less. Consider all those advertisements that end with priceless. In those ads, the most valuable item is free.
Let's break it down into action steps. First, make a list of the things that you value. And second, make a list of the things you spend your money after all the big expenses are paid.
Third, compare the 2 lists. And fourth, evaluate the findings. For example, in a given week, your list of values may have family on top, but your expenditure list may have wardrobe on top. So would an extra pair of shoes really communicate to your children that they are valued? If not, what would?
Finally, make a plan. Discover ways to do what we call values living by focusing on your values and how they play out in your expenses, your activities, your time, and your focus.
This has been Jessica Romey and Jim Wilberding from New Heights Counseling, a place to grow, to heal, and to reach new heights.
We're on to our cheap date segment. I've been married for 10 years and we've had a variety of financial ups and downs, but the one thing that remains constant is that we have to stay connected regardless of what's going on in our bank account. So cheap dates are near and dear to my heart. You don't have to spend $1 million. You don't have to book a cruise to Cancun in order to stay connected to the one that you love. And I have my expert, Ernest Phillips, owner of Tug Coaching here. He is very passionate about the cheap date. You don't have to be cheap, but he wants the date to be if you want it to be. We are at Trostles Greenbrier on Merle Hay, and this is, restaurant, that's a standard. And we're not tossing that out because I love to eat. In fact, right now I'm getting hungry as we're talking. But it doesn't have to be just a meal, which isn't really enough. You finish the meal, you drop a load of cash, and you feel like you need to do more. What are some things that you can do while you're dining that can be fun?
While you're dining. Liz, romance comes down to 2 words to me, and that's meaning and connection. This is one of my favorites. This is called Do You Q.
I own this.
You own this.
I love it.
There are 2 versions. This is the Friends version, and this is good for while you're at dinner. They have a date version as well.
Right.
And what this does is it asks you a few questions to get you to know each other a little bit better. It becomes a little bit more fun.
I can read some of these. What is your favorite TV show from the 80s?
My favorite TV show from the 80s.
Family Ties.
I might go with Knight Rider. My grandmother and I bonded over that.
But here we are connecting, and it's that easy, and it's really compact. You just stick it in there and whatever. What else do you have?
Now, these are some games that I use for home connection dates.
Okay.
So instead of going to dinner, you can get a bottle of wine, have a nice dinner at home. But just a deck of cards can last hours. Phase 10 is one of my favorites. It says for ages 8 and above, which means that it's very simple. Most people can learn it, and it's just fun. 2 people can play it. You don't need a babysitter for this date. It doesn't have to be much at all, but it's about the meaning and the connection.
And it's fun. You're laughing and kind of letting go, letting loose. And sometimes when you've been together for a while, you kind of need something to do so you can get started talking.
Yes.
And if you haven't been together for a while, you can do these things and it sort of gives you something to do so you can get started talking. It totally makes sense.
Absolutely.
All right, what else do you have?
The next one is the picnic, and it's how to utilize the picnic, and that's the one that makes the difference.
All right, let's move to the picnic. Now we're having a picnic here, sitting on the floor at Greenbrier. Thanks, Greenbrier, for letting us do this. And you're saying your picnic is one of your favorites, isn't it,
This
Ernest?
is my absolute favorite, and here's why. This is just a standard picnic basket, and it comes with plates, cups,
Okay.
There's silverware, there's even a salt and pepper shaker.
It's got everything in it.
It's got everything in
Okay.
it. For the couple that has been married, say 17 years, they have kids, maybe still in the house, put this downstairs. You move all of your furniture out, you lay this out, you can have music going, and you have your own picnic. Absolutely low cost and more fun because you'll forget that you're inside.
And I love, it's also effort, taking the effort to do something, which
Absolutely.
is really good.
I will say this, for guys, this is a no-brain win-win-win situation.
And where can I find one of these cute baskets?
I got this one at Yonkers. I've had this for years, and it's great.
But you can get them at any local
You can get them at anywhere.
place.
And so the other place is obviously taking a picnic out outdoors to a park. There's something really special about having 2 people sitting out in a park.
Oh, yeah.
And they're by themselves, they're talking, and people are walking by, and
But you're having your own
you're having
little
your own
island.
thing.
Yeah.
And on
makes
that date,
sense.
you will forget that they're walking by, except for that occasional feeling of someone out there is feeling very envious of, wow, I wish I was her. Wow, I wish I was him. And this is this is really my favorite cheap date. Because, again, not only the cost, but connection and meaning. You will always remember the time we had the picnic downstairs on the winter day inside. Kids were upstairs. They didn't come down. You don't need a babysitter.
I'm never
It's
going to forget
fabulous.
this picnic, I'll tell you that right now.
This is my first picnic inside the restaurant, so I love it.
We hope you enjoyed watching Nead Inspiration. If you'd like to contact me about past shows or show ideas, just log on to www.neadinspiration.com, and thanks for watching.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Nead Inspiration. We're proud to bring a new episode each and every week. Stop into Des Moines Motors and see our incredible line of noble cars, electric motor vehicles, and quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. We'll see you on the next episode of Nead Inspiration.